I've had so many women tell me that whatever they've been doing in the past to lose weight isn't working anymore, and their weight is just slowly creeping up. And it is so frustrating when you feel like your metabolism is going to hell in a handbasket. I'd like to talk to you about how to eat to prevent weight gain, especially during your 40s, 50s, and beyond. We're going to get into 4 main topics that relate to how hormones shift your metabolism and what to do about it. Definitely stay until the end because I have a juicy tip that I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about. May here, nerdy dietitian and functional medicine geek. I love helping people look and feel their best in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. If you've tried every diet under the sun and you still don't know what to eat, definitely grab my must-have food guide down below. The first thing I want to talk about when it comes to how to eat to prevent weight gain in your menopausal years from your 40s, 50s, and beyond is we actually become more and more insulin resistant as estrogen declines over time. So when our bodies aren't sensitive to insulin, we're more likely to store carbs, sugars as fat. So how do you eat in this period of time? You have to eat like you're on the verge of getting diabetes. What if you have a sweet tooth? Let me tell you, the best way to get rid of a sweet tooth is to have it pulled. I know, that sounds terrible, right? But for a lot of people, it's all or nothing, and cold turkey a lot of times works the best. Our taste buds get overstimulated, and we really do need to just take an entire break from sugar. Now that means getting sweets out of the house. It also means if you have a baker at home, if that is you or a loved one, you've got to fire them. Have them bake for other people, but not bake for the household. One of the biggest things I see is people eating way too much fruit. Fruit is nature's candy. I actually had a woman once, she was actually eating 6 to 8 cups of fruit a day. And so that's actually a ton of fruit. If you like fruit, stick to 1 to 2 servings. And definitely stick to the whole food form, dried and juiced. You're starting to concentrate that sugar even more, and it's a huge blood sugar spike. You know, and I know that when we're emotionally eating or stress eating, we are not binging on broccoli, okay? It's always the carbs that come out, whether it's salty, crunchy, bready, or sweets. So if you do any kind of emotional eating or stress eating, you have got to find alternative behaviors that still help you relieve that stress, that still help occupy you and make you happy on the inside. Definitely comment down below if you have any feedback on how this has helped. Another reason why women gain weight during this season of their lives is because as estrogen declines or plummets, depending on who you are, hunger hormones can be thrown off and you might be more prone to overeating. So one way to combat this is to make sure that you're eating 3 square meals and a strategic snack instead of grazing or nibbling all day. I have so many women that purposely don't eat breakfast. They kind of nibble at lunchtime or just eat like a bar or a snack at lunch, and then they're grazing the entire afternoon into the evening well after dinner. When dinner is over, think about closing down the kitchen. I've actually had a client put a little letterboard that says the kitchen is now closed. Almost like a restaurant where it has open hours and closed hours. And I think that's genius because it helps our brain know, hey, we're done eating for today. A lot of us end up multitasking, eating into our day, and we can't even register how many calories we've eaten. We're really prone to overshooting when we're not paying attention. So try not to multitask and eat as much as you can. Sit down while you're eating, pay attention to your food. You're gonna register your calories better, you're gonna digest your food better, and you're gonna be able to be fuller sooner and longer. Trust me, it really does make a difference. Hey, don't forget, if you haven't already, grab my must-have food guide. I've got pantry items for you. I've got must-have foods that you should keep in your diet if you want to support your metabolism in this season of your life. My third tip on how to eat to prevent weight gain during menopause is to make sure you are fighting to eat an anti-inflammatory diet. What does that actually look like? Most people I talk to actually do need to double or triple the amount of vegetables in their day. I'm talking aim for at least 2 hands worth of kinds of vegetables. Find ways to make vegetables exciting for you without drenching them in butter and air frying them. The other thing you want to consider when it comes to inflammation is really nicking all of the really processed meats or even meats of poor quality in your diet, really upgrading those to what your budget can allow. It does matter how inflammatory your meat is, depends on how healthy that animal was and what toxins that animal was exposed to are now the toxins you're exposed to as well. So definitely clean up your meats if you are a meat eater. How am I supposed to know if something's inflammatory to me? And that is an excellent question. A lot of clients I work with, we end up doing food sensitivity testing or a pretty standardized or customized elimination diet where we reintroduce foods after taking a pretty long break from them and see if the body is responding in a positive or negative way. I actually also had a client once, and she's Hispanic. She's like, May, I can't eat corn. I had tamales and it's like I took Benadryl. She was just zonked out for the day. For everyone, it's different. So if there's foods that don't sit well with you, keep them out and definitely pay attention. Maybe keep a food log, maybe do an elimination diet. Number 4, this is huge. As progesterone declines in our 40s and 50s, we actually have less ability to respond to stress. So progesterone keeps us calm, relaxed. And if you're like me and you're type A and you're already high strung, without progesterone on board, you might even be more high strung. And so my 4th tip, which I think not a lot of people talk about, is when you're under a lot of stress, it's actually the worst time to be restricting your calories to an extreme degree or over exercising to an extreme degree. So many women in efforts of losing weight are doing that. They're eating less and less and less. They're exercising more and more and more, and their weight keeps creeping up and they are so frustrated. So if that's you, think about managing your stress levels. Hold eating as a way of nourishing your body, and hold eating as a way to fuel yourself and calm yourself down. Believe it or not, we do need enough calories, or else the stress gets to our thyroid and tells our thyroid it's not safe right now to burn calories. Let's slow your metabolism down, right? Overexercising can do the same thing. It actually can shut down your thyroid. If any of this has been super interesting to you and you want to fine-tune the principles I've talked about for yourself, reach out to me and apply for a strategy call. I can't tell you how helpful it is to really talk one-on-one, see if and how I might be able to help you. Just to review what we've covered, 4 things that happen to your metabolism that you want to eat differently is estrogen causes you to be more insulin resistant. You want to eat like you're on the verge of getting diabetes, which means really dialing your carbs, cleaning up all the empty calories coming from sugar. Number 2, when estrogen declines, we have more hunger hormones, more tendency to overeat, and that means you really want to be strategic about not grazing, not mindlessly eating, having 3 square meals and a strategic snack if you need it, and think about alternative behaviors if you're a stress eater or an emotional eater. Number 3, when you have less estrogen progesterone, you are more inflamed and you want to fight to have an anti-inflammatory diet. Most of the time that means double to triple the amount of plants you're eating currently, and also think about upgrading your protein so that it is the cleanest possible. And the 4th point, as progesterone declines, you are going to be maybe a little bit more stressed out, maybe a little bit less resilient to the amount of stress in your life. And this is not the time to be starving yourself or over-exercising or doing some extreme fasting, because that could shut down your metabolism via the thyroid. So think about these 4 things. I hope this has been helpful. If you really enjoyed this video, definitely look out for my next one. I'm going to be talking about 5 ways to boost your metabolism after 40, how to have more energy and less brain fog.